In the spirit of Halloween, we shall be diving deep into the rabbit hole of obscurity and rediscover the bizarre short films that left their mark as some of the most terrifying short films you could ever imagine. So let's begin this pursuit, starting with a beloved classic known as The Dummy. The Dummy is a short film made in 1992 by Louis LaVolpe, and it was presented in HBO, Showtime, and the USA Network. We can agree that dummy puppets have a very creepy appearance since their facial designs are meant to resemble a real person smiling. And in this short film, we see that a couple living in an apartment complex are about to have the husband's parents over. The wife picks up a dummy off the floor and the husband mentions not to throw it away because he's had it since he was a kid. The husband leaves as his wife takes a shower to get ready for company. And this is when the dummy begins terrorizing the woman. The way they presented this dummy and how it approaches her is quite chilling. A dummy such as this one does not possess more strength than an adult person, and its size should not be considered threatening. But when it comes to the unknown, and objects such as this dummy, anyone in this situation would be completely terrified to approach it and destroy it. Even if your own strength can break it to pieces, you will be hysterically frightened to approach it. Still life. What do you do if you drive by an abandoned town full of mannequins and you run out of gas? Well, this short film concentrates on that exact situation, only worse. The mannequins seem to move on their own every time the young man looks away from them. Mannequins can be quite frightening if you're left alone with one or more of them, simply because they look like us. They're even dressed like us. The only reason why they aren't as scary as a dummy is because they have no facial expressions. In fact, their faces have almost minimal details, but just enough to know it's meant to resemble a person. So when you're stuck in a situation where a town full of mannequins are acknowledging your presence, there's no telling what they want to do. And if you approach one of them, or one approaches you, you'll never know what it intends on doing. So I'm sure the first thing you'll do is look for something to defend yourself with, in case one of these mannequins gets too close. Like most short films on this list, it has a great ending. This one was directed by John Knotts, and I highly recommend you to watch it. Smile. Here's another student film like the previous one on this list, only this one uses some very unnatural visuals. It's a bizarre mix of real people with oversized CGI heads. One thing I gotta mention is that the picture quality is around 360p, which might seem like a bad thing, but I feel like it combines well with the visuals. Because if you look at CGI with a clear and sharp quality like 720p, 1080p or higher, the visuals would surely stick out and ruin the illusion presented with this short film. Sometimes an old school camera is the best device to use rather than the latest high definition camera, and I believe this is one of the best examples to look at. I don't want to give away what happens here since a small description is all it takes to give it away. So go and watch this short film. I think you'll find it rather interesting and bizarre. Hiroshima, a bomb attack animated. This is a short animated film that paints a picture of how life was like moments before and after the bomb attack on Hiroshima occurred. The visuals are quite beautiful, accompanied by a heartwarming melody played with a piano. But everything drops as soon as the bomb hits the ground, and we then see the frightening experience that the citizens of Hiroshima went through. What looked like a beautiful day immediately turned to hell in a matter of seconds. It's shocking to see how it was just an ordinary day, and it suddenly becomes a nightmare, destroying so many lives, so many innocent lives. I couldn't find any info about this short animated film, as it's been buried throughout the rest of the short films and documentaries based on the bombing of Hiroshima, but it's probably the best when it comes to describing the catastrophe with visuals rather than explaining it. Recorded live, flesh-eating film reels. This is my personal favorite of the bizarre short films on this list. It is a concept no one has ever tried, and it even has a clever title as it all revolves around this roll of film reels. The film reels itself is after human flesh, and it even has enough intelligence to find a way to capture another victim. The film begins by showing us a man who receives a letter informing him that he has a job interview that might just be suited for him. So he makes his way into the building where the interview will be taking place. He enters the building, but it appears to have no one in it. So he looks around and walks into a room with a note left behind which reads, "Sam, the new tape is it. The images are so lifelike it's uncanny. Tell the chemistry people they've..." As you can see, the note was left unfinished. Suddenly, the film reels behind Sam start to unroll all over the carpet floor by itself. He manages to escape in time before it completely takes him, and he runs to a separate room, but it continues to chase after him. Even when he closes the door behind, it tries opening it or even slithering underneath the door. It's a very unpredictable film reel that refuses to let this man get away. Throughout his struggle to escape, he finds a magnet which frightens the flesh-eating film reels, but it doesn't stop it from trying to devour its victim. What makes this film reel such a terrifying inanimate object is that it's smarter than you'd think, up to the point of looking for a key just to lock a door. Then the noise it makes sounds like it's audio that's been slowed down, then sped up, which makes this flesh-eating film reel appear even more threatening since unnatural sounds tend to sound creepy. So it works well to make the film reels more terrifying than you'd expect. This followed by using stop motion for its movements, including footage that's been reversed. It's perfect. Stop motion can make anything look terrifying with its unnatural movements. It's why no other Terminator exoskeleton will ever appear as frightening as the one in the first film. This short film was made in 1975 and presented in one of HBO's short takes, which were short films that played in between full-length films back in the 70s and 80s. There are more short films just as good as the ones presented here, so we'll definitely be revisiting them another time. That's it for the video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. But most importantly, be sure to turn on notifications because YouTube won't bother to do its job, even if you're subscribed. If you're a Patreon supporter, check out the exclusive videos on my Patreon. Go support the channel, which is only $1. Sacrifice that McChicken for extra quality content, my friend. But anyways, I'll see you all in the next video, and remember to have an awesome day.